Once again, a pretty good jam. What are you looking at? You got people coming in the room already?
Yeah, one of my buddies is trying to like walk in to work, but he forgot something, so he was really hurt about going back to his car. Very comedic there.
Yeah.
I'm watching
Yeah.
through the window, stalking him basically.
Either way, markets that matter, market matters. It's Friday with Mo. The last thing I have to do before I can go home on a Friday, I'm kidding. I have lots of work after this. And obviously you do. Anybody who doesn't know, Motoi Pearson, senior trader, WynnBET, living the dream out there in Las Vegas, working for an actual sports book. He's going to actually start doing some sports booking soon, some risk managing. Again, living the dream out in Vegas, living in the spare room above his parents' video rental store, and out there and doing it up. And he is helping us out every week, giving us the inside track, the inside scoop on some of these markets. And for sure, one of my favorite people to talk to out there. So Mo, last week, did you give us a FCS lock last week?
Only Merrimack, the best play of all the plays.
Yeah, I think they were about 6-7, and then they won by about 31, which is
they were down 10-0 immediately, and then I think they outscored them like 40-0 for the rest of the game.
That is traditionally what happens. That Merrimack squad does that year in and year out. That's kind of what
this Merrimack team can really challenge anybody in the country.
I don't know about all that, but at least at the FCS in the middle of the FCS levels. But yeah, we do have some college we want to talk about. You had some markets you wanted to bring up. I didn't get this one at first, and then I actually dug into it. The Air Force New Mexico game Saturday night, and the total has dropped like a rock. I'm seeing Penny open this at like 49. Where do you guys open?
Yeah, 49. Yeah, so we essentially just kind of followed the market there for a bit, and we didn't really take too much sharp action, but we kind of shaded down a little bit as we seen the market kind of get unloaded on there. So we ended up taking some action at 48.5, 48. And then when we ended up at 45.5, we took a sharp bet on the way back up. So it was a little bit of two-way on, between key numbers, 48, 47. And we didn't get to 45, but right now we're sitting at 45.5. I think we were at 46 for a bit, but went back to 45.5, and we're just kind of staying there for a bit, considering.
And I mean, coming from a guy who just doesn't pay attention to college football as much, I mean, is it informational, or was it a bad number?
I
like it when it's the latter. The latter's funnier.
I think Lindy's number was a bit higher on this game. We were kind of going into it, and we were thinking about the Rocky Long versus the triple option. Rocky Long is the defensive coordinator now for New Mexico, so just the matchup alone kind of screams under. And I look back at Air Force's games. Besides the shootout they had with Utah State, which it seems like everyone's having a shootout against Utah State. I guess Boise didn't really, but these teams haven't been really too solid on offense, especially New Mexico they have not been playing as well, and it kind of seems like that's how the New Mexico is going to be the whole year. But under seems like it's more of a play, just considering the body of work these two teams have had up until now.
But even that, you did take some decent money when it bottomed out, which I don't know. That's a solid move. Half a touchdown move down in the mid 40s. That's fine. Like somebody can take the bottom of that.
Hold on, what? I apologize. Can you repeat?
It doesn't matter. And I mean, before the show started, Mo had lost his pen, which was one of the best things ever to happen to me, because then he couldn't sit there and click it the whole time, which he is continuing to do.
Yeah,
I swear to God,
sorry.
I'm going to come out there.
I don't have anything else better to do but click.
I came out there one time. We linked up, I guess. But second game is actually a good one, with probably, before the season started, probably some playoff implications. I don't know. I guess if Notre Dame doesn't lose any games, they don't have a title game. What are you going to do? You can't keep them out again, even though they'll probably get embarrassed. But Cincinnati, they have the feeling of like the upset team that also can take out SMU, win their conference, and then end up as the 5 seed, even though they'd be like ranked 3rd, and then the playoff rankings come out and like, oh, they ended up 5th. I don't know what happened. Weird. We're not going to let them in again. So they are favored here. It looks like this one's kind of been bouncing between 1 and 2.5 early numbers. I'm not sure what you're seeing. What kind of action you're taking in the Irish Bearcats?
Yeah, I mean, where we opened, Cincy 2, total 50.5, it's basically still there from Monday, or Sunday. Yeah, so we're still there from Sunday. It's already Friday now. The only thing I've seen as far as it being bet into is Notre Dame money line. People aren't really, caring much about the points. It looks like they're just taking as much plus 110 as they can. And we're right now, we're sitting at minus 25.05. So they kind of pushed us a little bit down, just a nickel on our money line. But we've been pretty strong at 2. I actually made Notre Dame the favorite earlier, but I respect the market, and it seems like a lot of opinions do like that Cincy that I somewhat agree with.
Yeah, and there's a couple injuries for Notre Dame as well, and we don't know what we're going to see out of the quarterback. And honestly, they didn't play that good last week. It was just a really fluky fourth. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win that game, but like the final score was a little bit, deceptive, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, Mertz threw 2 pick sixes. They gift wrapped him 14 points at the end there. So, definitely didn't paint the picture of how the game really played out.
Speaking of that shit heel, Wisconsin and Michigan. Michigan, the ranked team. Wisconsin, the favored team. Home. This one actually in Camp Randall, not in some decrepit NFL stadium. Michigan off a really good performance in the first half, and then a holding on for dear life and getting it done. Not even close to covering. What was the line there in the Rutgers game?
19.5. 19.
I was gonna say it was almost 3 touchdowns. Didn't cover, got it done. But heading to Camp Randall, what do you? I think this is another one too that's kind of been bouncing between pick 2.5 ish.
Yeah, this one's been more interesting as far as how the market's been, moving since Sunday, since we put it out. We opened Wisconsin 1, total 43.5. So the total hasn't really moved much. We're still at 43.5 now, but not just the action that we've seen, which is more based on Michigan, more on the point spread than the money line from what we can see. But it's pretty funny to watch the market. As soon as we opened Whiskey 1, it took about a day for it flipped. I think Michigan was like a 1.5 point favorite. It got bought back, went down to pick 1.5, 2, and we've been at Wisconsin 2 basically the whole time until now.
Are you going to see a lot of game day action on this sort of thing, or is it just kind of an ugly Big Ten game and it's stuck?
No, it's gonna. I think as far as the 2 games that we talked about, I can't imagine it, moving as much off the 2. I brought these 2 up because they were so like parallel to how they've been moving and where they're at now. It's funny that there's going to be a lot of sharp opinions on this, a lot of public play on it. It's fun to see games like this, especially when they're so close in the spread and there's a lot going on with why we ended up at 2 on both games.
Yeah, and I was going to say, going back to that game, the Notre Dame game, plus this one, like, what's the action like? Is it lopsided at all, or are you just fine?
For which one, the Michigan game?
I mean, either of these, Michigan or Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame. I'm considering, or at least thinking, that we're going to just see like a bunch of Notre Dame money line at the end. Like, we're probably going to need Cincy at some point, pretty big. Not like I'm not imagining there's going to be some Cincinnati bets, but there's so much public money that's going to be on Notre Dame as a dog at home. That's something I know we're probably going to need.
Yeah, and you get these stupid, like, that's a good bandwagon team. Cowboys, Yankees, Notre Dame, people that have fans everywhere. And honestly, if you can afford to go there, I suppose you have some money to bet on your team too. That's silly alumni money. I know I'm not a big Irish guy, but I'll be on Cincinnati. You know what? If you need Cincinnati, I need Cincinnati. Simpatico. So I'll be there with you. Maybe I can find a 1.5. Honestly, if it gets beat down, if I can get like a 1, that would be lovely. Maybe you just play. Nah, I'd probably still sell it out to 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be money that's sitting Dame, so don't be surprised if it does get pushed to like 1 and you can get something before before kick.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sit and wait on that. All right, let's spin to the big leagues, the men's league, the adult league here. This is one I've gone over a couple times with a couple different people. I think Drew took the under in this Falcons game, under whatever number he got. I was interested in it, but my numbers said Atlanta and Washington were pretty similarly power ranked, and I wanted no part of taking Atlanta versus a decent offensive line. I don't even remember what she wanted on this, if it was side or total. I think the side was getting bet down a little here.
Yeah, that's we opened Atlanta 1 Sunday night. We usually open around kick of the Sunday night game. So
Yep.
as soon as we opened Atlanta 1, it moved to Washington 1, like within a few hours. So right now we are sitting at the football team -1.5, total 47.5. So not much movement on the total. I think it's probably one of the more even ticket count and handle games with handle and ticket count that I've seen. So it makes it kind of easier to book when we're getting action on both sides, especially at a number like 1.5. So this is something that I can kind of see sitting there up until kick.
Who's managing that on Sunday nights? Like, are someone who's scared, or is it someone with some steel in their belly like Lindy?
Well, we'll be handling more of it going forward. So, I think I'll be there. Lindy and our guy Sawyer will be all hanging on to that, and Alan's going to be in the back watching us, like hanging on by a thread for us to be booking all this NFL stuff Sunday night.
I met that Sawyer kid when I was out there. He's the guy who goes to the gym and just does like 70 different variations of curls. Guy is,
he does it all within 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's like 130 pounds. He's got arms this big, just jacked. I like that Sawyer kid. He's going places. Other NFL, we'll get to we'll get to the good one, but Arizona and the Rams interdivision. This is one that Drew and I right away on Sunday night said, this is too many points. And then we didn't bet it. And it moved just like we thought it might. And we stayed away from anyway. And honestly, I'm kind of wishing I had a 6 in my pocket right now. I mean, are you just seeing a ton of money on this because it's a divisional game, and all these NFC West divisional games are probably going to be closer than this. But my numbers, I think I've brought it up a couple times. Mine make this LA -3.7. So I'm in agreement. I just don't have the ticket to prove it.
As you know, we opened 6. We're down to 4 now. It's going to be definitely one of the more popular games with both teams in the division, 3-0, all that stuff. I think right now it's not much of on the spread. We're about even on the ticket count and the handle itself, but we're gonna the Cardinals money line is gonna be lambasted going into Sunday before kick. So we'll have to control that going into that game. And as far as the money line getting bet down, it's gonna correlate with the spread as well. So we'll be keeping our eye on that going forward. See where some people might like Rams money. I'm expecting that there's going to be Rams money at some point the day of the game, but the money line is what I'm trying to protect right now.
And that's something too I wonder about as far as, and I know you guys are booking a little differently than you'll be booking even next week, but like if somebody you say the ticket count, you say the money's pretty even, like what makes it you're just moving with the market, I guess, essentially. But in general, let's just pretend you've been up for 6 days straight. You've been booking this yourself. Like, is it just those limit bets early that are going to move it regardless of you taking the same amount later? It just means less.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, considering that the ticket count could be the same, there could be just more respected bets earlier in the week that can kind of, persuade us into moving it. And then if we do respect the market and we're not trying to just kind of get, we're not trying to take X amount of dollars on this side, we'll move it because of that. So, I mean, we'd have to respect it enough to at least know we want to take, 20, 50K on one side, before moving it. So, sometimes we might respect it enough, but, if we do respect the market more, we'll take less on the way down and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, and you don't, obviously, again, like respecting the market just is code euphemism for if everyone else is moving, even if we aren't taking a lot on this, we still have to be with them. You don't want to be the shop that's off by a point and just getting hammered on a rogue number.
Yeah, I think most bookmakers already understand air moving to we want to take at least 1-2 bets on the way down, considering what could happen. If the line moves back up or we take some sharp action on the way back up, man. So, you want to climb that ladder. You want to get bets at 6, 5.5, 5. Kind of how you feel about it. Because, I mean, obviously, if you respect that side and you either weren't supposed to be at 6 and you try to move it as much as you can, or, you want to go from 6 to maybe 5, take a bet at 5, and then, meet the market at 4. So, it's a pretty it's like an art. It's like you're dancing. As soon as you get money in there, or you like the side and you want to take a position on one side, you got to figure it out from there before you start moving with the market.
I wouldn't mind seeing you dance.
I'm too big to dance. I think I could have danced back in like 08, 09.
What about the thing they do before the rugby matches or whatever? That's like a nice slow one. The haka. Like, you should do that. Like,
I tried that once. It didn't go well. I feel like it was an odd. I was in another place, another state of mind when I tried it, I think.
I'll just leave it. We'll leave it there, and we'll move on to a game. I haven't heard many people mentioning this one as far as movement, but the Buccaneers will play the Patriots. Not only are you getting just Narrativeville straight up the ass, but you are also getting a team that, looked bad against a much better team. You're getting a team with a rookie quarterback, but a great coach, and you're getting it Sunday night get back spot. And you're getting it at a number that is going to invite teasers. You're getting it at a number that's going to invite parlays and just straight bets if you can get the 7 at flat here. So what's the action look like on this one so far?
Yeah, they're just betting Tampa. Everyone's betting Tampa. They love it. We opened 5.5. We're at 7 even now. Dog 20. So as far as like what I just seen before I came onto the show on what we're losing to the Bucs is like one of our bigger liabilities already, and I'm assuming that's going to continue to grow. I think AB likes Bucs. I think that's right. I don't want to, but we stayed high. We were trying
Antonio Brown.
No, Alan Berg, the real AB.
The real AB. OGAB.
Yeah, that's exactly. But yeah, we try to stay high, and I don't think we, for what we have right now, I think we're comfortable with where we're at as far as going from 5.5 to 7, which is a pretty legit move. But it's going to be tough for me not to need Patriots at the end of the day, considering if it's like teasers, the money line, the spread, all that stuff.
Maybe I'll just parlay that with Cincinnati then. Again, just sticking with you, needing it. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to bet New England +7, +7.5, just because they're like, oh, it's the contrarian sharp side. But like this, just honestly, for me, from just like a straight up handicapping standpoint, want no part of this game.
Yeah, it seems pretty tough.
Well, there's too many forces at work.
Reaction as well. The Pats have just been, lackluster. It seems like in their play, and I don't want to bet against Brady coming off a loss, especially in a game like this.
No, that's the thing. You've had weird stuff like this for his whole career. Like his against the spread record when he was with New England, what they did, just suddenly getting their shit together mid-season last year and going on a tear. And then also, like, you can say, oh, it's all narrative and all that, but like that stuff's real sometimes. Like there is motivational factors that will drive a team that maybe I don't want part of it. So, and yeah, when Tom Brady, Dan says in the chat here, hard to beat Tom Brady when he's in petty bitch mode. Like, that's the thing.
It's
like,
very true.
What if he is like, there's two ways this goes. Either he'd like, I think they win regardless. A Patriots upset would really surprise me, but it's more of like a gracious win, or Tom really, really doesn't. I think this is how you figure out if Tom still likes Bill or not.
Yeah,
like if
6
they
touchdown, 450-yard game. Just kind of stomping on him.
Or he's over there yelling at Arians to let him go back out there when they're up 35, and then he gets hurt. That would be something. So. All right, we are going to go from the game of the week to the college game of the week.
Such an awesome graphic there.
This is not in Boys Creek. This is in Alabama, not at Campbell. Is that Boys Creek?
I don't know where North Bama plays.
No, I know where Campbell is.
Right. I'm considering the game itself. I thought North Alabama should have been favored, personally. In a unspeakable lands, I seen Campbell open 3. I thought it was going to move. It seems like it's pretty solid there for the moment. We'll see how that goes tomorrow when these markets get annihilated. But North Alabama, they've played a pretty tough schedule. It wasn't merely from a player standpoint, but more of a power ranking standpoint on who they played. Teams like Southeast Louisiana, high scoring team. They played them early. And then Chattanooga, who I have in middle of the pack ranked. And then they played Jacksonville State, who beat Florida State, and then ended up playing a pretty tough game against Nicholls State. So the 4 games they've played, the 4 teams they played, are pretty solid. And it's actually, it was something that as soon as I seen my number where I had North Alabama like 7 or 8, I thought they would have a better chance against an opponent like Campbell, who I think are North Alabama is a little bit better than them, considering going into a game like this at home. So it was more from just a power ranking standpoint on who they've played and being at home. I think they should be, a 7-point favorite in a game like this.
Yeah, North Alabama hasn't played it. Everyone's saying that right now. Florence, Alabama, not too far, kind of halfway between Oxford and Huntsville, not far from Memphis. I'm looking at a map. I've never been to the South, and I didn't realize
North
how close
Alabama's in the north.
Yeah, it's not far from Birmingham. Tuscaloosa's right there. Like all these colleges are just kind of mashed together down there. I found Pine Bluff.
Place.
Yeah, really, Memphis is right there, and so is Nashville. It's all Chattanooga, the Mocs right there. So, yeah, I will be looking to Dan and you for more FCS nuggets as we go on tomorrow. That's my favorite. Honestly,
Dan's an FCS connoisseur. He's the real FCS lord.
He's straight up addicted. Like he's addicted to these small.
Man, I'm impressed. I like
it's kind of like what I love in college basketball, like all these terrible conferences. Like it is no fun for me to bet Big Ten basketball, much less watch Big Ten basketball. Jesus Christ, nobody still wants to do that. I would much rather bet some of these small schools and then watch how I lost a 10-point underdog in 4 overtimes and just feel bad about my life for the rest after staying up because it's like a West Coast conference game and staying up till midnight to have that happen to me. So. Any other nuggets from you? You know, those were the games you gave me, but what are you what's the scuttlebutt around the office today? What are people talking around at the water cooler down at
busy
WynnBET?
Doing a lot of we're just getting prepped for booking. We're pretty back we're back in the driver's seat now, man. So, we'll be pretty busy on Saturday and Sunday and going forward. We just got a lot of things to do. So, no one's sleeping. We're all ready. It's football season, man. It's football season.
Yeah, just a few more weeks. It's NBA season, and then college basketball too.
Jesus
You better put some shit in the wanted ads. Like
we got. There's something we'll talk about. The NBA props that we're gonna put out that I want to exclusively talk about on here. That's gonna be pretty cool. I won't say it now, but
don't tease it.
As far as unique, they'll be a cool thing to promote on here at least.
Do you have any? I haven't checked my emails today. You have anything cool? You have any cool props for the weekend over at WynnBET? I'll let you sell me something.
No triple the spread, unfortunately, this week, which was like giving away cash with that Packers plus 10.5.
I see. Yeah, it should have been money line. Triple the money line. Give me that.
No, seriously, man. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, as soon as we send out another surplus or stimulus, I'll make sure we'll send it on it, or I'll talk about it on here.
All right. Well, you can find this cat over at Heed These Takes on Twitter. He's over there tweeting about hip hop and
that's it,
basketball and just silly stuff all the time. Honestly, you're all over the map on Twitter. I have you muted at this moment, actually, but
I'm trying to form an identity.
It's a good follow, and we thank you for coming on, giving us some insight on the markets. And hang out for a second after the music. I got you always just leave when the music plays. I need you to hang out for 5 seconds. You never say
anything. You're just like, bye, goodbye.
Well, I'm just saying, don't leave the meeting. Let the music play, and then stay in here so we can do a little post-production wrap. That's how they do it in the business. We'll get with you. So for me, for Mo, for producer Dan, for the North Alabama Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Lions
Leo
versus Camels.
Lion is their mascot.
I felt like it was a lion. We wish you the best of luck this weekend. See ya.